Hello there. If you're watching this video, it's because you have expressed interest in my DBT Mastery Program. Welcome to your little intro video. My name's Alex Wilson. If you don't know me already, I'm an accredited mental health social worker, and I own a private practice called Mindful Recovery Services, where we specialize in DBT treatment, so dialectical behavioral therapy. So my DBT Mastery Program is designed for clinicians who want to get really good at DBT therapy and want to work with complex clients, tricky clients, using a model that has shown to be really effective for clients who struggle with emotion regulation difficulties, which, let's be honest, is most clients. Okay, so I'm going to run you through some info, and I'm also going to send you an info pack to read through so that you can think about joining this program, which I'm biased, but it's pretty awesome. Okay, so I'm going to run you through some slides here. So when I was developing DBT Mastery, so I've been working in DBT therapy for a long time. So I initially worked in the public mental health system for the first bit of my career. I worked in inpatient units, community mental health teams, emergency departments, lots of different mental health settings. And then when I decided to go into private practice, because I wanted a bit of a better work-life balance, and I looked at doing DBT as my specialty because I had set up and run DBT programs in the public sector. So it was a natural fit for me. But what I found was looking for professional development opportunities was actually quite tricky. And there's a few problems that I find with professional development across the board. So the number one problem that you may have found is there's an information overload. So there's tons of professional development options, but trying to figure out which ones are really going to help you grow the skills that you want to focus on can be really difficult. So questions like, well, what model should I specialize in, right? Where do we figure that out? Who's the best person to get training from? If there's 100 people offering this training, who do I know who's best? How is this training going to help me move towards my bigger goals, right? Because I'm a big believer that our time is limited. You don't want to spend time doing training that is not going to directly benefit your longer term goals, okay? So you've got all these people throwing professional development opportunities at you. And if you're anything like me, you're like, sure, I'll sign up for that. It's free. I'll do that free webinar. I'll do that free workshop. And then I never watch them, right? They just clog up my inbox. Not very helpful. The second problem is that there's often no clear process after we do the training. So you might go ahead and do like a 2-day DBT training course. You know, there's lots of places that offer them as standard, and they just teach you what DBT is. Okay, here are the skills, done. But after that 2-day training course, how do you implement those skills with real life people? Yep. So I also offer a 2-day training course, but it's very much focused on practical application, as well as learning some skills, but it's the tip of the iceberg, right? If people want to use DBT long-term, you need more than that, right? And so again, it's like, you know, what are your longer-term goals in regards to your focus, your clinical focus, and how are these skills matching up, right? You need skills that are going to work with your clientele, right? You need skills that are going to help your people. Otherwise, what's the point? And then the third problem is, of course, time, right? When do we, between our full-time jobs and our families and our hobbies and our downtime and our supervision and all the things, find enough time to do professional development? It needs to be flexible. Again, it's great to go and do a 2-day seminar, but that's really hard when you've got a full workload, okay? So these were the 3 problems I was aiming to address in the DBT Mastery Program. Okay, so here's a little outline of how I like to work with people, okay, our working relationship. So I want to see the professionals that I work with get the best possible outcomes. And so to do that, there are some conditions on how we work together. So I invest in long-term relationships. Again, I do shorter trainings, but really where the benefit is if you and I work together long term. So I'm talking here 12 months. So my DBT Mastery Program is 12 months. And that allows us to really grow your skills and grow your clinical knowledge, but also to work out all the tricky little nitty-gritty nuances of clinical treatment. Yep. So we have this long-term relationship, which you get a lot of value out of. We both commit to catching up on a regular basis. Okay, now we do that in different ways, depending on which level of the program you commit to, but we can do that online in group Zoom sessions. We can do that in half-day workshops. We can do that in one-on-one supervision. We can do that in our Facebook group. There's lots of different ways. We can do that via email, but we need to make sure that we have like really good opportunities to communicate and work out problems and questions and yeah buts and all the things, okay? And we commit to work towards your long-term professional goals. Again, I don't want to just teach you a few skills to use here and there. I want you to really learn skills that you can build an entire practice around, whether that be in the public service, whether that be in NGOs, whether that be in private practice. I want to give you a whole framework that will allow you to have great success with your clients in whatever settings you're in and as you grow as a clinician, right? So for me, learning DBT skills and growing those skills allowed me to transition from the public service into a private practice where now I oversee a team and we just do DBT. I do online DBT, I do DBT training. So I've built this whole career around this one framework and it's great. All right. A little bit more about me. If you don't know me already, this is a little overview of my business. So my private practice, as I said, is called Mindful Recovery Services. But as part of this business, there's a lot of different arms. There's a lot of different things that I do and that my practice does. So one thing that I do and my team does is a lot of family education training and support. That's because we work a lot with young people. I love working with teenagers. I just think they're the best. And that also means working with parents, which I'm very open about is actually one of the hardest parts of my job sometimes. But family education training and support has been a really important part of the practice to deliver. So again, we have online services, we have ebooks, we have group programs, we have one-on-one sessions, we have a bunch of stuff for parents and families. Also, we do individual and group clinical treatment. So I run a DBT group, I see DBT clients day in and day out. I'm still very involved in the clinical work and I oversee the clinicians on my team in this work. I do education and training for helping professionals. Obviously, that's why you're here. So this is a branch of my practice that I've been growing over the last year or so. Again, just because I have this passion for DBT and I really think it's such a great model. It helps people where other therapies don't help. And so I really want other clinicians to jump on board and offer this to clients as well. So lots of training for helping professionals. Care coordination and planning. I'm a social worker, so care coordination and planning is part of that. So we'll do things like I'll do a lot of things with schools where I'll go out and do education or support for schools, school counselors, speaking to group supervision sessions, doing speaking engagements and things like that, meeting with GPs, rolling out safety planning templates, working with the public health network, that sort of stuff. and public awareness and education campaigns. So again, speaking gigs, putting out blogs, putting out material, challenging stigma is a core part of DBT work. And it's this core part of DBT that a lot of people don't understand. And it's a core part of the training that I do with people. You have to understand stigma, and you have to work against stigma and the impact of stigma to be a good DBT clinician. It's my very firm belief. Again, there's the social worker in me coming out. So here's something that I want you to consider, and I want you to think about this over the next little while. There are 5 stages of professional development that I've identified. And these stages, sometimes what happens is we start off at stage number 1, and throughout our career, we move up to stage 5 or stage 4, possibly. That would be awesome. But more commonly, what happens for a lot of us is we kind of move around. So we might start off with stage 1, we might then move up to stage 2 or stage 3, but then something changes in our career or in our workforce or in our practice, and we go back to stage 1, or we drop down to stage 2, and we feel more stuck. So let me explain these stages to you, and I want you to take some time to think about what stage you are currently in. Okay, no judgment, it's not your fault, but just thinking about where you are, because it's going to help give you some direction of where to go next. So stage 1 is when we're stuck in professional struggle, when we're feeling a real lack of fulfillment in what we're doing, we're unsure where to go in our career, we're unsure about our skills, we have a fear of failure. We feel isolated, and there's a really high risk of burnout in this stage 1. I have been there many times. If you're there, that's okay. No judgment, but it's great to know if you're there, because that can prompt, all right, change needs to happen. We can't stay in stage 1. You need to get out of stage 1. Now, stage 2, when we're able to move into stage 2, this is where we're kind of like looking at professional development. We start to explore long-term goals. Yeah. What is it that I want to do long-term in this career of mine? And also in my life, like work-life balance. We start to explore options for upskilling, which might be why you're here watching this video. And we identify partners in growth who can help me develop and move up into some of the more pleasant stages. Okay, so we're really kind of looking at kind of exploring in stage 2 and looking at other options and who we can partner with. Now, stage 3, things starting to feel a little better. This is when we're in the professional growth stage. We're building knowledge and skills with a clarity on future goals. So we're like, right, this is the direction that I want to go, medium and long term, and this is the training I'm doing. This is what I'm engaged in order to work towards those goals, right? I'm no longer just kind of floundering around doing a bit of PD here and doing a course here. I am like, I know where I'm going, and I'm building these skills to get there, right? We are investing in supports and networks for success in stage 3. These things don't come for free, okay? Good professional development is not free. Why would anybody who's good at what they do give it away for free, right? It takes a lot of time and a lot of resources to put together good professional development. You got to invest in it. And if you find somebody who you're like, I resonate with that person, I think they can teach me what I want to know, invest in them. Okay, hopefully that's me. And you have a financial plan in stage 3. As helping professionals, we get really funny about finances. We think that it's like really bad to have any sort of financial goals or want to make money. You need to make money to help people. If I can't pay my bills, if I can't keep the lights on in my practice, I can't help anybody. So I have to run a financially viable practice, and I have to be able to pay my bills. And it means that I'm not going to burn out. Next stage, stage 4, getting really good here. We're enjoying our work. This is professional fulfillment. We have a great work-life balance. We are confident in our clinical skills, which is such a great feeling. We have an awesome network of trusted support and advisors. We have people whose opinions we trust and we can go to. And financially, we're thriving. Doesn't mean you have to be, driving around in a Beamer. I don't think that's in my future, but I can pay my bills, I can have a holiday sometimes, things are going well. And then stage 5, if we get there, amazing. This is professional mastery. So this is where we become respected in providing guidance to other professions and organizations. And we're thinking here about leaving a legacy. So we're no longer just thinking about day-to-day work. We're thinking about, what is this legacy I'm leaving? How am I passing on my skills and my knowledge? Okay. So I want you to think about where you are and where you want to be. Now, finally, here's what my DBT Mastery Program looks like and your options for joining. So 3 different levels to choose from. All of these run for 12 months. As I said, I work with people long-term so that I can get you the best outcomes. It's not something we can do in a couple of days or a couple of weeks. We need to really work at it together. Entry level is practitioner level. So you get access to my full DBT practitioner portal, which has hundreds of hours of DBT training videos on it. I give you a suggested outline of what to watch in what order, but you can also jump around. So literally hundreds of hours of my training videos, handouts you can use, lots and lots and lots of resources. Any DBT topic you can think of, in fact, any clinical topic you can think of is in that portal. You have full access to that. You can access it anytime. Most of the training modules are between 30 to 60 minutes long, so nice and achievable. I typically recommend people put aside 1 hour a week in the DBT Mastery Program in order to watch a skills training and to do the action plan. The other thing that you get in the practitioner level is weekly live skills training with me on Zoom. Now we alternate. We have a topic one week and we have an open Q&A the next week. And these are recorded. The Q&As aren't always recorded, but the topics are. They're uploaded into the portal if you miss them. But if you also have questions and you can't make the live, you can email me your questions and I will talk to them and I will record them and I will send the response back to you. So this is your opportunity to jump on and have conversations and really, nut out some things. So you get that in the practitioner level, $397 a month. Not including GST. Second level is Pro. So you get all of that same stuff. You get full access to the portal, weekly lives with me, and every 6 weeks, we do a half-day DBT workshop online. Again, I send out a schedule of topics. I ask for recommendations about topics, and we spend half a day on Zoom together every 6 weeks, really taking a deep dive into DBT topics and skills, problem solving, tricky clients and situations and all of that sort of stuff. So we get that really great one-on-one time from $4.95 a month. And then top level is our master level. All of those things plus one-on-one monthly clinical supervision with me, $5.97 a month for the 12 months. Okay, so those are your options. Again, this is an investment. It's a 12-month commitment. It's a 12-month relationship, but I guarantee you that what you'll get out of it will set you up to being confident in your clinical skills and to feel really clear on how to apply these in whatever direction of work you choose to go towards. And I really believe that as we get more confident in our clinical skills, we will start to see career opportunities that maybe we didn't consider before. Again, whether that be moving into your own private work or diversifying your work in different ways, the more confident and skillful you get, the more opportunities there are for you to use those skills moving forward. Okay, so that's my spiel to you. I want you to think about these options. Please send me any other questions that you may have. And I would love to see you in the program. And you will get a link to be able to sign up if that's what you choose to do. The program's open all the time. You can join anytime you like. And we get you started with a one-on-one to map out those goals in a little more detail and get you on track. Great. Thank you for your time, and I hope to speak to you soon.